Nothing means nothing.
Nothing means nothing. What do you mean by that?
I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in. But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah. My true madness, yeah, has got more to.
Welcome to the first, and probably last, episode of Leggie's Vanity Project. The political cycle never really ends here in America. Our media has to pay the bills by selling us boner pills and Ozempic, which I'm a fan of both. Big pharma's out here doing God's work. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. Probably because it took me so long to learn how to edit that the election passed already. Also, the lesser evil, still pretty damn evil. These are not anti-war Democrats. They are, however, slightly less genocidal than the Republicans.
This is obscene. It is absurd. Give Israel what they need to fight the war they can't afford to lose. This is Hiroshima and Nagasaki on steroids.
But not by much,
I absolutely support that. In fact, if anything, I love it.
as every president wants to pretend to be Ronald Reagan. Brandon took it too far. But anyways, I'm a Mexican, a father of 3 Mexican girls. And because of that, I believe in harm reduction. So asking you to vote for a third party that has no chance of winning is kind of dumb. The Green Party is just a vanity project for Jill Stein at this point. Voting for the PSL, who I really like, is not going to help us make any progressive changes anytime soon. And as for the Libertarian Party, they are still more concerned with age of consent and Romeo and Juliet laws. They just can't be taken seriously because they're a stupid party.
What should the age of consent be? This is something that reasonable minds disagree on. That should be up for a vote.
The Demon Rats are the only ones that can beat these well-funded Republicans, who are going to be worse in every single way to people I love and care about. The Republican Party of today has gone full fascist.
Here's all we're going to do. It's going to be called a Trump mass deportation because we have no choice.
Hitler also said he just wanted to deport the Jews before he murdered at least 6 million of them, among millions of others. So when the Republican vice presidential candidate and the only person who was more socially awkward than I am, J.D. Vance, called Trump America's Hitler, he was not lying.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans?
And I guess history does repeat itself, as another Holocaust-like genocide is happening in Palestine while the world watches and we fund it here in America. Republicans don't have much to offer and understand that their base is dying and would love this poorly educated Hispanics to join their fascist movement. You can be proud of your last name and heritage, as long as you're willing to demand the deportation of other folks with the same last name and similar heritage.
You're a Mexican American.
Yes.
What do you think about Trump's border policy?
I love it. I love it. I'm 100% for it.
Do you know anybody that crossed the border without applying for green card?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, I have family members that
Yeah.
did. Cousins, nephews, nieces.
Because those people might be deported if Donald Trump wins.
That's okay. That's okay.
How long have they been here for?
Years, like 20, some like 30 years.
And so you think the members of your own family who've been here for 30 years should be deported?
Yeah. Yes.
You would also have to demand a smaller government that Elon and the rest of the penis rocket gang can control.
The only way that I can see to deploy this much financial resource is by converting my Amazon winnings into space travel.
Conservatives keep trying to end any type of help for the less fortunate folks and using immigration as an excuse for the worsening conditions caused by the inequalities of the system that was not built for any of us working folks. Yet that same system has all these broke boys believing that they will be benefiting from any tax cuts when at best it adds $5 to their sad-ass paycheck. And now due to budget cuts, their kids got to pay for their own school lunch because Israel is running out of ammo or some shit.
I've been going all over South Carolina like most people. I hadn't slept much. But look what's going on in Israel. Our friends in Israel are surrounded by people that want to kill them, destroy them, a second Holocaust in the making. They're running out of ammunition in Israel. We have to help our friends.
This country was created by wealthy white landowners, most who own slaves, and the conservative side of our politics has always focused on conserving that power.
Power!
Conservatives fought to keep slavery and have been on the wrong side of history ever since. Political parties have flipped over progressive changes like the passage of the Civil Rights Act, which caused the Democrats to lose the South. Then Republicans came out with their Southern strategy to attract those racist white Southerners. And that's the Republican Party of today.
I'm saying that if it is getting that abstract and that coded, that we're doing away with the racial problem one way or the other. You follow me? Because obviously sitting around saying we want to cut taxes, we want to cut this, and we want is much more abstract than even the busing thing, and a hell of a lot more abstract than nigger, you know. So any way you look at it, race is coming on the back burner.
Now you got all these white boys in Minnesota repping a Confederate flag for some reason. The last time Republicans liked immigration was in the 1980s, when the Reagan administration used immigrant labor against labor unions, putting a divide in Hispanic communities.
And so it's so bad now that we estimate 60 to 70% of the farm workers in California, of the resident worker, of the citizen, is out of a job because of the wetbacks. They're coming in by the thousands, just unbelievable.
Many migrants were willing to be used since their homeland had civil and economic wars manufactured by U.S. interests. Now, some of those migrants and their descendants are the most reactionary folks out there. I hate seeing these folks bashing migrants in broken English. That shit don't make no sense. Some of these cats become anti-immigrant as soon as they cross the border.
Did you have to pay a cartel?
Yes.
How much?
Around 10,000.
10,000?
Yes. In fact, the American people is right, completely true. Who come into this country, they don't know. Well, okay, I'm good, but how if they're not good? How they're killer, psychopath, else? No guarantee of that. Why, like no security, no security check, no background check.
Today's Republican Party are firm believers in the white replacement theory, an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory started by Nazis and made mainstream by fascists like Tucker Carlson.
I have less political power because they're importing a brand new electorate. Why should I sit back and take that?
They really hate when migrants are non-white and say absolutely nothing about the white migrants, like the hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian refugees and other white visa overstayers that now live here in America. Yet these hogs lose their mind over Haitians who were mostly working professionals in their home countries. I worked with a guy who was a lawyer in Venezuela and is now here in Dallas driving a forklift. It is not cheap to migrate to the United States, therefore not just anybody can make it here. So saying that they're prisoners and people from insane asylums that want to come eat your cat is just ridiculous and racist.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Seems like some Hispanic folks nowadays don't see the humanity in migrants, especially if they're from Haiti or Venezuela. The folks who are currently being demonized by right-wing media and politicians. They've done it to Salvadorians with MS-13 in the past election cycle.
So when the MS-13 comes in, when the other gang members come into our country, I refer to them as animals. And guess what? I always will. But we're getting them out by the thousands.
And to the Mexicans and the one before that.
Bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
According to Customs and Border Patrol, the number killed by undocumented immigrants this year is 27. Last year it was 29. Not tens of thousands like Trump likes to say. But here comes the Democrats to coddle these racing lying motherfuckers with racist immigration policies. I guess they think it's possible to beat the Republicans at racism. I'm not surprised that the Democrats are losing Hispanic support since they're terrible at politics and can't stop stepping on their own dick. Instead of embracing migrants who already have family members that live in the U.S. that would vote Democrat, no, they'd rather try to support the good Republicans. When anyone who was a good Republican wouldn't still be a fucking Republican. It shouldn't be that hard to beat Trump or any other politician focused on trying to support abuelitas. Well, unless you're Hillary Clinton or the corpse of Joe Biden.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Republicans are planning to take part of the money Hispanics send to their family members and use it to build a useless wall.
Maybe we're going to do something with remittance. That's where people come here, make money, and they send it back. So we'll do something, and we're going to get all the money that we spent in the wall will be coming back. So remember I used to say, who's going to pay for it? They'd say Mexico. Right, that's right. That's right.
These cats are even talking about bombing Mexico.
Drug cartels are waging war in America, and it's now time for America to wage war on the cartels. I will order the Department of Defense to make appropriate use of special forces, cyber warfare, and other overt and covert actions to inflict maximum damage on cartel leadership, infrastructure, and operations.
Don't worry, the United States never kills civilians. We have the most moral army. Next to Israel, of course.
Am Yisrael Chai.
The United States will never do that. They would never put people in internment camps for questionable loyalty. I worry about the Hispanic kids that grow up with asshole parents that have no idea of the struggles that the typical migrant goes through, and will even exploit these migrants themselves since they can kind of speak the language.
Gracias. ¿Es tren de agua aquí o no? No. No? No. ¿Peligrosa aquí lately? No. ¿Es cierto que los pandillas se han apoderado de este complejo de apartamentos o no?
Your loser kid can also turn into a self-hating Hispanic Nazi terrorist, or just a regular Nazi loser like Nick Fuentes.
What part of what you know about me would make you think that I would want to be propositioned by a woman?
Shit, we even have black Nazis now.
Things. But they did good things too. We're gonna stop dissing the Nazis all the time.
Well, that's it for today. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all that. Or if you want the smoke, you catch me in the streets of Dallas.